I don't know, lately. First Frankenstein and now this. Well, hey VC, hope everyone's doing well tonight on Sunday night. Yeah, so the Frankenstein album, for those of you keeping score at home, that worked out pretty well. That was the soundtrack album to the Bride of Frankenstein film from 1935, I believe, that came out a year or so ago. And me and Mr. Mayo had a copy of that. I thought it looked really cool, so I went on eBay and found a copy. They put it out on first 1,000 copies on green vinyl, and I found it on eBay, and it said it was the green vinyl edition. It was $25, $26 about. So I went ahead and got it, and showed up, and it was not on green vinyl. It was on black vinyl, and so I wasn't too happy about that. And I got in touch with the seller, and he was really a good guy about it. He said, just send it back, and I'll give you a full refund. Even sent me a thing where I could print off a postage, so I wouldn't have to pay postage to send it back. And he was going to refund my purchase price plus the postage I paid to have it sent out. And well, I wanted a green vinyl copy, and he didn't have any. I think it was just a mistake on his part on the listing. I double checked the listing, and it did still say green vinyl edition, but probably he had some and sold them all, or I think it was just a mistake on his part. But he offered full refund and postage, and I thought that was really nice of him. And I wish I had the paperwork with me, because I would give a shout out to that company that I bought it from. It wasn't CD Now, but it was something like that. And in a future video, I'll give them a shout out, because they apologized and said they'd take care of it. After all that was said and done, I decided just to go ahead and keep the thing on the black vinyl edition, which came out after the green vinyl run. I guess it's still in print, just on regular black vinyl. Thought since he didn't have the green vinyl, I could send it back and get the money. But it's just, this film is soundtrack music, kind of orchestral. The original soundtrack music to that film, which is a good, great movie. I like old scary movies like that, the old Frankenstein, Dracula stuff, and I like that kind of music. So it's something that I'll listen to. I've already played it a couple of times, and not something I'll listen to all the time or all that often, but it is something that I'll pull out and listen to. So I decided to keep it. Maybe Halloween would be a good time to play it. I'll probably even play it other times of the year here and there. Maybe I'll get on eBay and track down a green vinyl edition one of these days, maybe not. But I was going to send it back, and then I just thought I'll just keep it because I like the music. So that's exciting, huh? Anyway, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget it, it's not the VC, but there's a group on here called the BeatlesSubmarine. Beatles, and then the word submarine is the name of a group, of a YouTube group. I know some of the people on here are already familiar with them. Neat little videos. I think they make videos every Thursday and maybe every Monday. I think they make them a couple of times a week. And it's a group of younger kids. I think there's about 10 or 12 of them in the group. I'm not sure how many. A couple of guys. It's mainly girls. They're like teenagers. I don't think anyone in there is over 20 years old or so. It doesn't look like. Beatle related, obviously, though they also talk about other music. It's kind of fun to watch. It's kind of like it's 1965 and YouTube existed, and you've got these kids that are crazy about the Beatles making videos about the Beatles. So, but it's really great. It's worth going over and checking out. Like I said, they're not part of the VC, but they do talk about records and Beatles stuff. So if you like that, it's primarily Beatles, but they will talk about other records that they have. But yeah, two of the girls on there. One of the girls did a video the other day saying she was going to show her record collection, and she did. I don't know if it was their whole collection, but she showed just kind of in rapid succession, showed 30 or 40 albums, and she wanted other people in the BeatlesSubmarine to also show their record collections, and she showed the album and sort of acted out the album cover, and I will let you go over and watch the video, which I would strongly suggest. I don't want to give anything away because it's really inventive and funny and entertaining video, and a second girl did a response video a day or so later. So far as I know, the two of them have done that so far, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously, they have Beatle records and solo Beatle records, but they also have some records by other groups, and they kind of parody or act out the cover. It's fun to watch, so go over there and check that out. So yeah, Frankenstein was taken care of to my satisfaction. This thing I got Friday in the mail. I don't know if that's showing up there, and it is this album called The Girls. It's the name of the band. I just put up a little while ago 2 brief short videos. My review of Somewhere Else, the new Lydia Loveless album, so you can go watch that. I still feel kind of strange having raved about that album to that point. I'm hoping that I don't regret that, and 6 months from now go back and say that album's no good, what was I thinking, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I remember getting albums and just being over the moon excited about them. Purple Rain, London Calling, I could go on, and wanting to tell everybody that was cool and into music to, you need to go listen to the Village Green Preservation Society by the Kinks or whatever the album. It's good to be able to do that again. It's been way too long. So Lydia Loveless. But what does that have to do with anything? Well, Lydia Loveless has a sister, it turns out. Actually, she has 2 sisters and a brother. All 4 of them make music in their respective bands. The other sister and brother have not released any music yet, so far as I know. This would be Lydia Loveless's older sister and her band, The Girls. So, from looking like at the album cover, the band, this looks like some girl that would be in some 90s rocker girl band or something, Courtney Love's band or something like that, or it looks like what's her name, the girl that died a couple of years ago, sort of kind of. And these characters on the back look like escapees from a metal band or a southern rock band, but the music is nothing like any of that. It's very rock and roll pop, very 60s and 80s girl group. There's a little bit of 90s girl group sound in it, which I'm not a huge fan of, like some Slater Kinney, but other than that, I don't really like that stuff. But there's not a whole lot of that. It's mainly 80s, 60s vibe, very 60s, 80s sounding music, which you wouldn't expect this crew to be churning out, but they do. So, great album. Like I said, the Sister of Loveless here. And you think of, I don't know, didn't Mick Jagger's brother make a record? Didn't Paul McCartney's brother, Michael McCartney, make a record? He was that group Scaffold. Chris Jagger made a record. Those Beatle kids like Julian Lennon and Bob Dylan's kid. Usually those things aren't very good. Julian Lennon had a couple okay songs, I guess. It's kind of boring actually, but I like that Blot song. Sitting on the River song, it's cool. Dylan's kid singing about driving around with one headlight busted. I don't know anybody's going to say, forget that kid's dad, this is the real thing. And not knocking them, but generally when the siblings or the kids do get into music, it's not so good. This group is really good. This record came out like a week or 2 ago, just came out, and they are from Ohio, and play up. I've looked at their website, and they play mainly clubs. They play up and around Ohio and those states around up there. That doesn't look like they've really toured extensively or anything yet. This being their first album, that's no surprise. Very catchy pop. Lydia Lovelace has a kind of a country feel and flavor to her, even though she's rock and pop too. No country vibe whatsoever from her sister. Lydia sings sometimes in a regular voice, for lack of a better word. Sometimes she sings with sort of a country twang. Her sister just sings. I guess it's her sister. Maybe this girl here sings too. I think they both do. But just very 60s, 80s pop rock. Good stuff. Good music and wonderful album. Lydia is. I mean, you can watch the video where I went on for 45 minutes or whatever. There's two-part video. I think she's something special, and really surprised, shocked, and amazed, and over the moon to have her around. This isn't in that that group, that range, that caliber, but it's really good. I'd give this album overall a solid B. Couple of songs, 2 or 3 songs on here, I'd give an A to an A plus. Check it out. They're known as the Girls Bang because of the exclamation point. So their website is thegirlsbang.com, and you can go there and you can hear some of the play some of the songs. So if you like that, sort of Bangles 60s, early 60s girl group, sort of a little tougher, updated sound, but basically that sort of sound, a little bit of go-go's and 80s new wave pop stuff. This is a fun album, and really not a bad song on here, but some of them more than others. Rodney, Laney, Radio's a good one. Annie's a good one. Most people probably never heard of this band, so the song's titles probably don't mean much anything, but Lydia Lovelace's sister, check that out. But yeah, I've heard the album because when I bought it, I got an instant email with so I could download the album onto my iTunes, which I did, so I've been listening to it, really enjoying it. Was looking forward to the album. It came Friday, got home and had it sent to work. Got home and here you go. And I even, probably stupidly, tried to play this, but it just bounces all over and it doesn't work. So I went to the band's website and emailed them and said, if I send this back, could you send me a replacement copy? They were sure. Sorry about that. So they were cool about it. They didn't press the record, I don't think. It came from some record plant somewhere. So going to send that back tomorrow, get a replacement copy, hope that it is, this is just a isolated incident and they didn't all get pressed this way. But, so I haven't been able to play that. There's insert with the 2 girls listening to records, and there's Lovelace's sister, and there's just some liner notes. And even though they sent me the email for the download, there's a download card, so I guess I could download it a second time, but I haven't done that since I've already got it downloaded. So yeah, I don't know what's what with my records lately with those 2 examples, but I hope that's not going to be a trend. So BeatlesSubmarine, check that out. Those are their videos are fun to watch anyway, but the where they're showing their records and acting out the covers is a blast. It's a really fun and entertaining. One of the neatest things I've seen on YouTube of late. My wall of records. If you can see, I don't know. So we've got my rather meager collection of John and George records. I was going to put the Ringo records up there, but I ran out of space, so we got 2 Virgins. Don't know if that's original. I don't think it is. We've got Laugh with the Lines, which is an original copy always kind of liked the cover of that. Thought it was a neat cover. The record itself is rubbish, of course. Live Piece in Toronto, which is a pretty good live album. Never was crazy about the side 2 with Yoko's Caterwalton, but you know, side 1's pretty good. Of course, Plastic Ono Band, great album. Got Imagine. This is the, I've showed this before, this is the Imagine box set from Record Store Day a few years back, and it's got the regular Imagine album with the postcards and the posters. It's got a second album that's got, I think it's only got 6 or 7 songs on it. It's just some outtakes from Imagine, alternate versions and so forth. So that's my John Lennon collection. I've got quite a bit. That used to have some more of these albums, and I don't. So I'm rebuilding my solo Beatles collections. So I've got quite a bit to get. You got Electronic Sound, another one where the cover's kind of pretty cool or interesting at least. Worthless record, of course, is not something you'd listen to. I think I've had that thing since the 70s, and I've listened to it never all the way through. I've listened to it every 5 or 10 years. I'll put it on just for grins, but I never have been able to make it through it. Same with Two Virgins and Life with the Lines. Used to have the Wedding album, a Japanese copy, but I don't anymore. Never been able to listen to that all the way through either. Of course, All Things Must Pass is, you know, probably his best. Wonderwall, the one in between here, I used to have. Don't anymore. That's maybe my second favorite George album. All Things Must Pass the best. Bangladesh Concert's a really good one. Material World is another one of my favorites. It's not his best, but it's a good one. And let's see. This is I like these shelves because I can switch them in and out. For the 33 1/3, that's the promotional interview record. I actually have 2 copies of that. I've listened to that before, but it's been years because it's an interview with George, and it's not something I listen to too much. This is a fairly recent pickup, Brainwashed on vinyl. This is really good. I mean, this was his final album, of course, came out after he passed away. Got good reviews, but it's kind of a forgotten album in a way. This is you know, I wish George was still with us, but I'm glad that he went out on a good note there, record-wise. And if you don't have that, haven't heard it, I would recommend it highly because it's one of his best. It's I'd probably put it in my top 4 or 5 of George albums. Showed that already. That's my autographed Lydia Loveless album from when I saw her a few months ago in concert, and that was all the George albums I have. So I've got quite a few more to pick up. So just to fill up space, I got this that I got a few months ago. No Beatles music on here. It's just that the title comes from the fact that she opened for them on some of their 64 American tours. The one after they did Ed Sullivan, they went back to England. They came back and did a proper tour of America in 64. There's some covers, Needles and Pins, which everyone knows the Searchers version, and I don't think there's really any of her hits on here. But this is a good album. Side 2 is much better than Side 1, but it's a really good album. I like the old girl group stuff. So, hope everyone has a good Friday night. Watch the BeatlesSubmarine videos, and especially the Show Your Albums. Go to the girls' website, check out some of their songs if you like the old 80s and 60s girl group sounds, and some good rock and roll mix in there. Have a good Sunday, everyone.